What we're going to show right now is the dive boat. It's a little different than the other boat is on the trailer. It actually goes down in place, pull that pin over a little bit, locks it. There is a safety that goes through. You just put that right there. Your hooks go the opposite of what they are. Okay, they have to cross, and then if you notice, the electrical has this added piece on here. Don't use this little one. That one's not working correctly. So then you put this one inside. You got it locked down. Double check and make sure that this hitch is correct. I always tell people who's on my crew, whoever drives the boat, make sure that this is connected correctly, because it's going to be your butt if it comes apart on the roadway. So always double check this. This wire that is here, this trailer's got a braking system with it. So if this does disconnect from the truck, this will pull and lock them brakes and make sure that the boat doesn't go down the highway. Actually lock the brakes up and throw the boat off the roadway, hopefully. It's got a push-pull, so when you put on the brakes, this actually has a cylinder inside. It pushes on it and the brakes apply, so it assists you. So it doesn't have electric brakes, because if you had electric brakes and you put them in the water, you'd ruin them. So this is all hydraulic braking. Right here, you take this off. There's a little cap to remove that you can put brake fluid in. It tells you right there the exact time it takes. And that's how this works. Okay, today what we're going to discuss is how to raise the portion of this trailer so that you can raise the Zodiac out of the way and take the boat and launch it safely. Put Zach where to hold the pin. Pins are very important. You need to pull those before you ever raise or lower this, or you'll damage the arms. So go ahead and raise it, guys, and we'll raise it up all the way. There is another hole as you raise it. This will go up, so you'll find another hole. Once you see the hole, okay, this is the full height of what it should look like when you've got the upper portion all the way extended. Zach's trying to put the pin back in as a safety. And that's finished for this operation. Now you can launch this boat safely. What this for is, if you accidentally drop this in a hole and you have somebody on driving the boat off the trailer, if you drop this in a hole, this whole trailer is going to go down, but the boat's going to rise. So if you don't do this, you have a possibility of injuring somebody very seriously on that bar. It almost happened one time, that's why we made it this way. Okay, so notice that there's a bulb back here also, and there's also, pump it up several times. It's ready to go. We got the boot on the motor. Pull that up.
High idle. Push in on this. Or choke. Start it.
Okay, now what we're going to show is what it looks like when you're going to grab the Zodiac off the top. Go ahead, guys, open them up all the way. Comes down a little bit further so that you can get this off the back. Gives you a little bit better leverage. Okay. Alright, now we're going to take the motor off for the Zodiac. All you have to do is cut one of the zip ties off so you can loosen those up. But the other thing you have to do is you have to pull these pins. Pull them out. Now you're ready to go. You can loosen that motor away from the block and then take it over to wherever you need the Zodiac at. Okay, what you're looking at right now is the plugs for the Zodiac. Make sure those are in before you take off. They do have one-way valves on them, but they don't always work. So just place them in them holes and you're done. Okay, what we're doing now is we're attaching the motor to the transom. There's zip ties in a bag so that you can zip tie the knobs on there that you tighten the motor down to the transom with. What this does is it locks it so that they can't accidentally unscrew from the vibration of the boat. The other thing is, what Jay's holding in his hand right now is our safety. If for some reason this thing does fall off the boat, with him locking it in right there, the motor is still attached to the boat, though it's in the water, so we can retrieve it. So those are two very important things to do. One of the two gas tanks in the John boat. This is for the Yamaha that goes on the Zodiac. It says 20 horse Yamaha only, non-mixed gas, which means it's straight regular gas. The other gas tank we have in here is for the John boat itself. That's your spare gas tank in case you run out on the primary gas tank that's underneath the back transom. Install the gas tank to the Zodiac. Go ahead, Jay. It has clips on it so you can secure it to the bottom of the boat. This is the gas line that we have. If you notice, it says Zodiac only. It came out of that one tote that said Zodiac on it. If you look at how that reads, one says motor, one says fuel. The motor goes to the motor. And the other end goes to the tank. What he's doing now is opening the vent for the tank. If you don't do that, you won't be able to get gas through the line. Now he's pumping up the bulb. You notice that the kill switch line is on the opposite hand from what he's pulling, so he didn't pull it off. Starts up, not a problem. Okay, Jay, go ahead and turn it off. Okay, just so you all know, you see that we got a boot on it. We're running water through it. You never start these motors without water being through it. You can cause damage to the water pump that's in the lower unit just by that short time of doing it. So always have that boot on if you're going to start these motors and run them and check them out before you put them in the water. All right, Jay, thanks. All right, what you're looking at now is the bladder so we can fill up the chambers of the boat. What you do is hook it up to any of the ports. There's one there, one on the floor, there's one there, there's one there. So Jay, and then there's two in the back here. These lose air because of heat and cold and everything. Jay, you want to step on that a couple times just to show how we have to do this?
There's also a diagram in the front here. So for the outer tubes, you only go to step 1 and 2. And then for the middle, you do all 3. Number 1 right now. This should give us the most volume. Once it starts to get a little bit of pressure on it, move to 2.
And then you'd repeat the process through all the other connections on the Zodiac. All right, what they're doing now is they're going to reload the Zodiac onto the trailer.
Couple more feet. Okay.
Okay, if you notice that Zach is underneath that portion of the Zodiac. All right, Zach, go ahead. He lifts up, goes forward, make sure he doesn't hit his head on the bar. And that is the easiest way to put the Zodiac back on and to take it off. Okay, if you look at how we got the straps, the sharp one on this straps goes in the middle. If you look and see where it's at right there, it has to go on that ring right there, not in the eye hook that's above it. Because if you go on the eye hook above it, they're not going to pull evenly. And once you get it hooked up, you just cinch it down. All right, if you look at that, it's going straight down, being tied. Once it's finished, the webbing's all up, nice and neat, and we're ready to take off. Okay, the next thing on the tie downs is you tie down the front also using these ropes. Go through the bite, bring it back on around. Then all you have to do is throw a couple half hitches in it. And she's secured. Okay, on the dive boat we have a different configuration on the back of what holds up the motor. Go ahead, Tim, and go ahead and take that off. Raises the motor up. Gets the little jack out of the way. Then when you're ready to put it in the water, you can lower the motor. If you notice, both boats, both motors have where you can hydraulically lower them from the motor itself. Okay, on the back of the dive boat, you notice that there's the bulb to pump up. Pump it up a little bit. Once it gets hard, you're done. Then you can go ahead and start the motor. Like I said before, we got the boot on the boat with water running through it so we don't damage the boat at all. Boat starts up real easy. The only problem with this motor is it's cold natured. So once you get in the water, you got to warm it up. Okay, what you're looking at here is the 3-point anchoring system on the dive boat, which later this summer we will go over and demonstrate how it works. And we also have a Humminbird sonar system on the boat with a 360 view.
Transducers.
Like Jay said, those are the transducers for those. And the Hummingbird's in there, and we'll have to go over that also later on this summer.
For reference, guys.